Hey, y'all.
What's up?
Today we are going to talk about 3 things not to say to a step parent.
That'll be interesting.
Number one, you knew what you were getting into. Oh, did I? Did I know that these 4 children were going to try to get me kicked out of the house and in my marriage?
Yeah,
No, I didn't know that.
it's kind of like, okay, here's a decent analogy. Let's say that you see a movie trailer, right, on TV, and you're like, oh, that thing looks awesome.
Good
And
analogy.
then you go to the movies and you sit through the movie, and then you're like, what in the world did I just spend my 2 hours and $40 on? You thought you knew what you were getting into because you saw the trailer. But yet, you get in there and it's nothing like what you thought.
I really like that.
All right, there you go.
Did you just think of
I
that?
did.
I'm impressed. But it's true. You spend every other weekend, a couple days during the week with these people, and you fall in love with your partner, and then you get married, you move in together, and nobody could prepare you for that.
Well, we even see it quite often where people are in a second blended relationship, usually because somebody passed away in the first one, or maybe they were crazy enough to do it again. I don't know.
Oh, we've had several of those.
But they'll say things like, "My first one was so easy, and we didn't have all these issues, and I come into this thing thinking I knew how to do blended families, and it's just been a complete crap show." So again, you don't always know what you're getting into, even if you walk in with your eyes wide open. That's the kind of honestly everything in life you could have that. Like I signed up for the good things that comes out of life, or comes out of a relationship, or comes out of a job. I didn't sign up for all the bad stuff, or the unknowns, or the gotchas, or the things hidden around the corner, and the gremlins in the it's just I don't sign up for any of that.
Right.
Right? That's common. And no, you don't necessarily sign up for that. It's especially within a blended family, you're not signing up for the things that you didn't realize would be expectations on you, or responsibilities you would have that you didn't know were even there.
Number 2, you're supposed to love them like your own.
Yeah. I've never subscribed to that.
Unrealistic expectations. And every every step parent that I have talked to that has ever said, I love them like my own, and they don't have kids, after they have kids, they say, oh my gosh, you were right. The
Yeah.
love I feel for this child is completely different. Not that I don't love my stepkids or care about them, but the love you have for your biological children,
Just different.
oh my gosh, it's so different. But that doesn't mean that you treat your stepkids like crap.
No. I mean, I love even my own kids differently. And it's not different as in one's better than the other. It's just different.
Well, you have different relationships.
And to that degree of even talking about loving people differently, I don't know that I love anybody the same. If you really think about it, like love your parent like the other parent. Love your friend
Like
like
your
the
other
other
friend.
friend. It's I don't know,
Love your
really.
aunt like the other aunt.
Yeah, if you really think about it, do you ever love anybody the same way you love the other person?
Nope.
Maybe not.
Nope.
It's a good thought exercise.
Right. And again, this isn't saying to the go to the stepkids and go, I don't love you like my own. No, that's not what this clip's about.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. And to expect your partner to love your kids the same way that you do, unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
Again, you can't expect people to love something that is not a part of them biologically the same as they love something that is a part of them biologically.
Well, I'll add to that. You can expect them to do it, but you will create for yourself a hard time doing that.
Disappointment.
Yes, you'll be disappointed. You'll be frustrated. You'll be angry. You won't understand.
Well,
There's
yeah. When I say you can't, I'm
What?
saying you can't do this and be healthy.
Right. Yeah. I know what you meant. I'm just saying you can do that. I think to some degree I did that. I don't know that I really expected you to love my kids like your own as much as I expected you to fill a role that wasn't open in the family unit.
Right.
Meaning the role of their mom was not open. And initially it was that's kind of the way I felt. Like, okay, you're stepping into this new role and you got all these new things you're going to be doing.
Helping
And
take care of my kids.
yeah. And logistically that
Was it more of a
sounds,
nanny thought? Like,
I looked at it as, okay, I'm doing all these. Okay, so let's take mom out of the picture. So everything that mom was doing, now I'm doing, right? And so for this
and your
period,
mama.
yeah, and so I had help. My mom stepped in and helped. She did all kind of stuff. Then you come in, and I'm like, okay, now we can take all these responsibilities and put them on you, and I don't have to do them, and my mom doesn't have to do them. Now you can do them, and
Thank
honestly,
you.
and logistically, that sounds like it makes sense.
Because that's what a nuclear family looks like.
Right. But even from the standpoint of just, okay, you're just helping me out. Logistically, it does make sense, but it doesn't make sense relationally.
Okay.
If it were a job, a job, and you were just coming in doing these things that you signed up for, then you could say, okay, well, these are my job roles. It's what I signed up to come in and do. But it's not that. You're not dealing with tasks on a checklist. You're dealing with people. You're dealing with relationships. You're dealing with broken relationships and people that are busted, disgusted, can't be trusted.
But a lot of the things that a step parent does can be viewed as the checklist on their task.
Yeah.
Especially if that step parent is nachoing and has kicked into babysitter mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Last one, number 3.
3.
All right, folks.
You're their parent too.
I see this happen though with step parents sometimes. I'm their parent too.
Yes.
All right, let's peel this one back.
You are not their parent biologically, legally, or through osmosis.
The osmosis, yeah, or positive thinking. And if you don't believe that, and you let something happen in a relationship, like if the relationship dissolves, most of the time, the kids go along with that. Sometimes we've seen people that still have a relationship with their stepkids afterwards.
Well,
But-
I was going to say that I've talked to step parents that say, oh no, if something happens to us, those kids are still going to be a part of my life. We've talked about it. It's written in the premarital divorce decree or whatever. But somewhere we've talked about this, right?
Okay.
Is that fair to the kids? Because now part of, we'll just say, dad's time, the ex-step parent's going to take.
Yeah. Or how does that work if a new step parent comes into the picture?
Right. Or how does that work when somebody comes into the ex-step parent's life? Oh, excuse me, I can't go out with you this weekend because I have to go pick up my ex-step kids. Or, yeah,
It's complicated.
it is. And I think that depending on the age, depending on the situation and the circumstances, we're not saying 100%.
No.
The probability of you being in your ex-step kids' lives after you and their bio parent split up is slim. And if you choose to try to make that happen, you need to make sure it's in the best interest of the stepkids.
Yeah. Like if something happened to me and you,
I'd stay in touch with a couple of your kids.
I think I would stay in touch with Jackson. However, I would say that it depends on why we're not together. Like if you passed away, then 100%.
Oh, he'd still be living here.
Right, 100%. If you and I had a nasty divorce, probably not. Because
I don't know, because if you and I had a nasty divorce, he would probably be messaging you and be like, sorry that she's acting that way, David. I don't understand these women. You always said all women are crazy. You were right. Any
Yeah.
suggestions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. But typically, if, well, let me finish my thought.
Sorry.
Typically, if you're having a negative divorce and the relationship goes down, it can affect the kids. The kids don't want to have a relationship with you either. What I want to add to that is that's actually part of the way that you and I fixed a lot of the problems in our relationship is that we would, or I would do this with my kids. Like I would show them the positive interactions that you and I would have.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would go, well, wait a minute now, even though we don't really like her,
She makes my daddy
she
happy.
makes dad happy. So, or she's respectful to him and makes him happy, and they're getting along great. Because when we weren't getting along, their relationship with you went down when my relationship with you went down.
Right, but a lot of that too, which we will talk about in a different episode, is the fact that you were allowing them to bash me and even agreeing with them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talk about more.
Yeah.
Talk about that more on a different podcast.
But that's what I'm saying is all that came into the play around the same kind of topic.
Right.
Because if something happened with me and you, and the kids picked up on it, like, Dad, you seem stressed and unhappy and grumpy, and I'd be like, well, Lori, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, okay, let's put Lori on the bad girl side.
She upset Dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm reverse engineering that piece just to show you that it works both ways.
But you are not their parent. You are their bio parent's partner.
Mm-hmm.
I am Lori, David's extension, as Branson calls me.
Is that what
I'm the
it is?
extension. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're an extension
Yeah.
of that person.
Yeah. Yeah, because now they'll tell Lori something, and I'll say, why didn't you tell me? Well, I figured telling Lori was just as good as telling you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That wasn't always the case. But.
Yep. And when you come in and try to be a parent to these kids that don't need another parent, whether their other parent has passed away, they still don't need another one.
All right.
If their other parent's alcoholic, addict, in jail, whatever, they still don't need another one. No matter what, you aren't their parent.
Well, also I want to say, don't take that comment as being a negative. Us saying that you're not their parent is not a negative comment.
It's a good thing.
It's number one, it's the truth.
Yep.
Number two, it gives you the freedom to have the relationship with them that comes natural, that they want to have with you and that you want to have with them. And it oftentimes doesn't look like a typical parent-child relationship. It looks more like a fun aunt relationship or a really good confidant or a mentor relationship. And it's not a negative at all by saying that.
Right.
All right, folks, that is our show for today.
Wait, we got to recap our threes.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. Do not say you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
Don't say that. No. Number two, don't say love them like your own. How dare you not love these children that your husband or your partner
Had with some other
created
woman.
out of having sex with somebody else.
Well, now that you put it that way.
You're supposed to love them like your own, regardless. And number three, you're their parent too. No, for the love of Pete, you are not their parent. Show me. Show me. If
Yeah.
it is not on their birth certificate, you are not a parent.
This is where I hate they even use the term step parent. Like, I wish it was something else. Like, don't put parent in there at all. Because
Target. I'm telling you, Target.
Target.
Yeah.
I just think that in and of itself creates that feeling that, okay, if I'm a step parent, then I must be doing things
As a parent.
As a parent that steps on somebody.
Right. But you are an adult. Again, an adult in that home.
Mm-hmm.
But your partner's supposed to
Do the parenting.
do the parenting for their kids.
Yeah. And
For them, for you, and for your partner.
yeah. And I think too, I know we're wrapping up, but I think that if you come in sometimes as a stronger parent than the biological parent, you don't give them the opportunity to parent the way they should. You're taking all that on. And more often than not, we always see that this backfires.
Yeah.
And it's, 2 years down the road, you're like, oh my God, what'd I do? And the bio parent's like, cool, you want to do it? Here. You can do it.
You want to take all my responsibilities?
Yeah. Here you go.
On a little platter.
Yeah, until you do something that crosses the line and nobody ever knows where the line is. And then it's
Well,
like,
I'm going to tell
no.
you, the line is when you do something that makes their child unhappy. That is where the line is.
Yeah, so it just causes problems. But those are 3 things that you don't want to say to a step parent. If you're not a step parent, then you want to hear these things, maybe have conversations with those in your life that are step parents. If you are a step parent, share this with somebody so you can say, here's 3 things not to say to me if you don't want me to bite your head off.
If you don't want me to punch you in your face, don't say this crap to me.
All right. Is that it? Anything else?
That's all for today, folks.
All right, folks. Thanks again for listening. And be sure to join us again next time when there's no telling what we'll talk about. Until then, remember, life is good.
When you nacho.
All right. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe and comment below this video. Like, what's some things that you think that people should not say to step parents? What are some common phrases you don't want to hear?
I got about 50.
Yeah. So list those in the comments. We'll talk about them.